Hey everyone, welcome to BrickVault. Sorry, YouTube is being weird again. The title and everything I changed, I saved onto the browser, and apparently none of you guys are actually seeing what I'm building today, which is super annoying because A, this has never happened quite the same way that it's happening this morning. YouTube browser updating, just, I don't know. They just decided to not save any of the changes this time around. Haven't done anything different. Anyways, but this is actually going to be a really cool episode. I'm really excited about it, and it's too bad that more people aren't going to know what I'm actually building unless we can somehow fix why it's not updating. But this is a custom build. Look at all this. Look at all these parts. What on earth could I be building for you guys today? That's one bag, and then I've got another bag, mostly larger pieces still, some of the smaller ones. Okay, so it's mostly white, we got some gray, and we got some black, and you might think it's annoying, but this is what we're doing. This is what I wrote. Yeah. So yeah, Stormtrooper helmet, and I didn't leave enough space for the ER. So and then, or the helmet. So anyways, that's what we're building, a life-size Stormtrooper helmet. I got the instructions from brickshelf.com. I've linked it in my description. It says that everything's updated and saved and ready to go. Mike is messing around with the browser, trying to get that stuff to somehow refresh or appear for you guys. For some reason, it's just not appearing. But anyways, that's what we're building. So it's going to be one massive, huge Stormtrooper helmet. It is. I'm reading it on my live streaming information video. I've already put it in the description, but the description that YouTube says that is available for you guys, it is 1,648 pieces, and I have linked in the description the instruction manual, basically, that I'm going to be following along. I think the instructions also exists as a YouTube video, but it also is from BrickShelf. I've got it on a different laptop over here, and they appear as PDFs, which is just easier to see because it just shows you every arrow piece is the next page of the manual, as opposed to pausing and stopping a video and whatever. You might go too far or not far enough or have to reload a page or you have to go back, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I'm going to switch down to this camera here. Have it as a nice wide shot because I do have a feeling this is going to get pretty darn big. This should be a life-size, totally life-size Stormtrooper helmet. And, okay, let's see if I can't just, wow, this is going to be, click here for full size. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting the instructions. Let me know if this updates for you guys, because it's super disappointing, and also just a little bit like I just don't understand how or why it's happening, why it wouldn't update this particular time but update other times. Now, the instructions here are going to be a little bit confusing because they don't have the numbered pieces that you're supposed to have each time it comes out. So I have to guess a little bit and just kind of look around. Fortunately, this is going to be, they're all simple pieces, and pretty much every step you take is going to be, I hope it's going to be perfectly symmetrical. So if it says, okay, there, like I have to have, 1x4, 2x3, and then I think there's going to be some smaller 1x2s in here. Okay, I can start pulling some of these extras out. 1,600 pieces, guys. That's a lot of pieces. So it's going to be a decently long build, but it is going to be so cool when it's done now. It's going to be so cool when it's done. Like, this is something I've been waiting to put together in the studio for a long, long time now. And let's see, it's asking for, you know what, I'm just going to dump out the smaller box. Woo! The smaller box of stuff. It's going to be a little bit easier to sort through. Not too bad. Fortunately, there aren't too many pieces that are super different from each other. So I'm not going to have to do a lot of searching around or organizing for this particular build. And this first step isn't actually going to be placing stuff together. It's just going to be putting stuff in an order that kind of works, because you have to sort of get it to match up properly, right? See what I mean by I'm placing the parts out on a flat area, but none of them are actually studded into anything, because this is the very bottom layer. This is what I believe is going to be the most bottom layer piece of the entire Stormtrooper helmet. You can't tell. So the thumbnail's not updating? So the thumbnail's not updating. That is super annoying. We really, like, YouTube, it was weird because there were certain problems we were having with YouTube live streaming when we first started. It's updated now? Okay, sweet. Alright. It's so weird because it's like they... Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Dude, it's so weird. Because they fix some problems sometimes. You're just like, oh, that was a problem, and they fixed it. And then there's like other problems that were never problems, and then all of a sudden you're trying to do something, and you're like, why is this not working? It's always worked, and then it just doesn't work. Okay, so sorry. That's actually step 1 right here. And is there a way to just? Oh, that's super. Oh, are you kidding me? I wish there was like just a quick, easy way to click through to the next page, but it looks like I have to hit the back bar every time. Oh, that is annoying. Brickington info. Okay. Oh yeah, this is gonna be kind of an annoying build. I have a feeling, just like looking at the way they've set up the instruction manual, because it's like building from either the top down or bottom up. Whew, I need to get this big bag open. Here we go. Will it be able to fit on your head? That is a wonderful question, Skirty Birdie. But I don't think it will. It's gonna be big enough to look like it can fit, but I don't think it will actually be able to fit. No, I don't think so. That would be awesome. That would be super cool, but I don't think we can. Okay. Now, I'm gonna see if I can't get the exact right pieces. This is like, I feel like the instructions are so close to being able to be like really, really good instructions, but they're just not quite there in terms of being perfectly useful. Fortunately, I think that's just the case, because there's a lot of, the first few steps of this is going to be a lot of pieces that are sort of floating in air when they don't normally have to be, or they shouldn't normally have to be. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Oh gosh. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah. So there's going to be all these pieces at the bottom are still going to be kind of loose, and then it's going to be the same thing for a lot of these next pieces that are going to be in this layer. They're going to have to just kind of float around and hopefully not fall off where they're supposed to be. Let's see, how many 1x2s do I need? And they don't count it out. 1, 2. Okay, so I need 2 1x2s for each side for this step. And then how many 1x3s? 1, 2, I think 2 1x3s also for this step as well. So yeah, definitely a little bit more of a meticulous and kind of pain in the butt, I think, for this early set of steps. Hopefully after like step 3 or 4. Hello Morty, where's Rick? You guys want to do, oh yeah, you guys want to see another Rick and Morty custom build, I'm sure of it. It'll come out eventually. I've been working on some little designs. I couldn't get some of the stuff I wanted in like full scale size that I was initially going for. So I kind of reverted back to scaling down some of the stuff I was working on. Oh, there we go. Out. But yeah, so I should be getting another Rick and Morty custom mock out in the next 2 weeks, I want to say. But yeah, so this thing is going to turn into one gigantic build here. Oh, this is so annoying. There's just like so many of these parts just need to be floating out in space, which is kind of unnerving. Yeah, because I'm building it out here, and there's a lot of these side parts aren't really connected, and then the parts outside of it here should be on the same level, but they're actually not on the same level. I don't know if you can tell what I mean by that, but yeah, it's kind of a big floating out in the open build. It should work pretty well. And we have a ton of 1x4s for this step. 1, 2, 3. 3 on each side, so that's 6. Okay. Alright. Let's see if I can't get them to stick. This is going to be here. Huh. Alright. Alright. So the way that step is working, I don't know if you can tell, but like there's these loose pieces should all be on the same level. I've kind of placed them where they're supposed to be on the same parallel level, but there just is no space. There's actually no space. Yeah, these pieces are kind of sitting there loose because they're not in there. So you have to sort of balance it in, right? And then, yeah, so this one is coming this way, and it's gonna sort of checkerboard away. I almost bit that Lego piece. It's almost like a force of habit from when I was younger. I would just bite the Lego. If I like couldn't get them to move around properly, I would just bite it. It was easier. And then the last part, almost. Yeah, that last part comes in this way. Ah. Okay. Wow, that is something else, I gotta say. Not the easiest bit of Lego to put together. So this is a floating 1x2 that's not quite there, and that is a floating 2x4, and then I need another, here we go, I need another one there, and another one there. These two are also floating. So like 4 floating pieces at the end of this step, which is kind of super annoying because nobody wants to have these pieces kind of resting out in the open. And then, all right, and then yeah, and then the 1x3 here, and then a floating 1x2, and then 2 floating pieces here. Okay, so this step is done, even though there's a lot of parts that aren't really. Yes, this is a mock set, by the way. This is a set that I did not design, but somebody else did. Whew! So many parts. Oh, I wish this instruction manual had each step parted out, because holy guacamole, there's so many unlabeled pieces. But that is the name of the game, and something tells me this isn't gonna start getting easier until sort of the outer layer of the helmet starts coming in, and then you can start building off of everything that's already resting there in the first place, if that makes sense. Okay, so there's only 2 of these pieces in the entire build out of 1,600. And everything else is pretty much through and through. It's entirely just bricks like this, tons of bricks. It doesn't count it out. Oh, if this counted it out, this would change the game. This would increase the speed of the build by, I don't know, a lot more. I'm gonna do a very quick search for this. If there's another set of these instructions, maybe on YouTube, maybe there's a YouTube video for it. I'm gonna just very quickly, because if YouTube does have the instructions on a video where they show the, let's see, life size, because this is a pretty common, this is a really common build. This is like a really, really common one that I know a lot of people have done in the past. Yeah, this is the same set of instructions, I believe. And did they number it out? No, they didn't. It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same. Ah, okay. All right. All right, I just checked. It doesn't hurt to double check, but whew, this is gonna be a long one. You guys joined a long one. Okay, so let's see how many loose 2x4 pieces are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the middle, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on either side. So 15 2x4s for this step, but it's all going to be crazy out there in the middle of nowhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Okay. How do you do? My name is blah, blah, blah. Guys, have grammar. They will have an email address for your mocks. What are you guys talking about? Boom. I think today is like the 4th or 5th day in a row where it has been completely gray in San Diego. Like, yeah. Isn't it crazy though? Like, I don't honestly think the sun has like shown itself. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, they look around, they're like, huh? Like, how did that happen? Like, I thought you guys said the weather was nice around here. Oh, it's weird. It's asking for one of these. All right. Okay, yeah. Now this is so annoying because I can't actually put these parts together. Not in the same way. So I have to kind of go back and forth between the two different parts. Oof. Not the best. What are you messing around with? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, there you go. People like being weird in Polish. I think I can read that.
Your Polish friends are saying bad things. Okay, I'm gonna go between these steps. Are nuts. These are like not easy to follow. They look easy to follow in practice, but they're actually quite difficult. Okay, so the next step. Okay, yeah. Sorry, guys. This is a extremely difficult step, or set of steps, I want to say, because you can't quite see. Okay. Oh, I see. Maybe. I think I know what's going on. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty vague because they've grayed out some of the previous areas and some of the other steps. And so you think you know what you're looking at for the next part, but that might not actually be the case. So it's hard to tell where each of these parts are actually supposed to be attaching to. They didn't really, it's not clear. It's actually completely unclear. So just looking through each step. I mean, in reality, they should have grayed out everything that's not exactly what you're putting on, which is, I know how they do that with Laws bricks and stuff, but they're just so vague about how the whole thing works. You know what I mean? All right.
It'd be cool if we had, like, for example, that you use a PDF file.
Yeah.
We could have, like, casted a PDF window on the screen so they see the stuff.
Oh, yeah. That just, yeah, but I mean...
Super simple to set up, but
No, well, the thing is like these instructions just don't even look
really?
like...
Oh my god.
Well, because you're looking at this, and then so half of these are floating in air. Most of these are floating in air.
Oh,
and then the next one, like when you look at it, like, so the gray is stuff that was supposed to be in the last build, but that's definitely like 4 pieces long here. But like that's actually not what the last picture looked like. So I'm just like,
so that's the entire instructions you have?
Yeah.
So...
Dude, yeah, it's like impossible to follow. Yeah, because you're looking at
all right,
it.
we're canceling, guys.
Yeah, it's almost like is this even possible to do? Like, I almost want to just switch to a regular set review video and then just kind of jump in to something about it later, because they look like, because in theory you're like, okay, this can work, and then you look at it and it's like, wait, how on earth is this gonna work? Like, there's no way. So yeah, that's like the worst part about it.
Should Jack struggle with that, like?
Dude, because like, look, every step is gonna be like crazy like this.
You can show them, like, maybe they will understand.
Yeah. I mean, I've linked it. Like, they can see the instructions in the link.
This is pretty, yeah, guys, it's pretty difficult, like from what I can see.
Well, like, because I can't
You don't
tell.
see like what.
Because you
bricks
can't
go
tell,
where.
like, because I can't tell where I'm supposed to put the first brick. That's the hardest part. Is it's not clear about where you're supposed to start building on top of the next level. Because the picture from the previous one is actually. It's
Okay, click for the full size.
Well, yeah, but full size. What's annoying is when you're in full size mode, you can't actually go between. It's only a little bit bigger, and you can't actually go. You have to hit back to go back and switch between the pages. So you're like, isn't that terrible though? Like, how are you supposed to build on? How are you supposed to build on top of it? Because you don't know where you're supposed to.
It's the worst instructions I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they really are.
Whoever
like,
did that, but like, dude.
Yeah. Because I think when they gray stuff out, they also get rid of the line. Because like this, there's.
Well.
Yeah.
We still have sets to build.
Yeah, I'm like looking. I might just switch over to a Lego set build. I was super excited to get this thing going, but it's like I need to like really study how this thing is put together to the point where I don't think this is worth it, guys. Oh, man. Yeah, and this is like an ancient website. We're going back and through each. Woo. Oh yeah, wants to go back. I wonder if it's like building from the top down is better. I don't think so, though. Just wanna fill this page. Okay. Alright, guys. Now I'm looking at this over and over and over again. The thing is, the build would get super fast once we get to like a step. I want to say step 11 or 12. This is how the fox worked. But this is just, it's too vague. It's too darn vague. Because it just simply doesn't tell you what you're building or how you're building it exactly. Wait a second. No. Wait. No. I just don't know. Yeah, guys. Sorry that you're watching me struggle on this thing. The first steps don't really tell you like what exactly you're putting together or how you're doing it. And it makes it kind of impossible to like really get there. I think what I want to do is I want to switch over to maybe just a regular Lego set review video. This is because I just don't know how the first steps start. I can't figure it out. It's just like too much, man. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna build this. I want this to be I want to do the video for Friday, but I don't think it's gonna work very well as a live stream, unfortunately. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna grab probably something a little bit more, I think, easy to do. Like maybe, let's just do a nice, simple, fun one. I think I'm gonna jump onto something else. Yeah, I made a mistake thinking that was gonna be a good live build. The instructions are just like, I mean, if you can figure out where step 1 attaches to step 2, like, be my guest, but I just can't see it, man. I like simply can't see it. So, how about this?
If you want, you can do like a quick poll online, like about percent, like what they want.
Well, no. Let's just try to keep something going. Let's try to keep something going, guys. Okay, I'm gonna switch the title. I think you guys know what this one is. This is okay. Wow, that is the longest name for anything. Bounty Hunter Speeder Bike Battle Pack. I don't even know if I can get that in the title. Okay. Bounty Hunter Speeder Bike Battle Pack. Okay. Yeah, pretty massive build here that I am no longer attempting. honestly think that if I just played around with sort of like the initial sort of, I don't know what to call it, the initial placement of some of those bricks in the beginning, and I probably would get it wrong the first or second or third time and have to pry off all the pieces and do it over a few times until eventually I was like, okay, I think I know where they're actually supposed to be placed, because the manual just doesn't really tell you. I think it would speed up after probably like the first 10 steps would be a huge pain in the butt. And then as soon as you start building up towards the top of the helmet, then it would actually work. So I'm gonna do this review because I actually make a review video for you guys, and then I'm gonna just mess around, and maybe I'll start a live stream once I get to like a place where the helmet is in a reasonable position. But anyways, let's actually talk about this. This is a set that I think everybody was super excited about when they first, I've already started opening it, but this is a set that everybody was really excited when they first heard about it. This is the Bounty Hunter Speeder Bike Battle Pack. It is recommended for ages 6 to 12. It is set number 75167, and it has 125 pieces. I misread those two numbers. It comes with Dengar, Forlom, Bosk, and IG-88. To my dismay, it didn't come with Zuckuss, which is Forlom's partner, and one of the original bounty hunters on the Super Death Star. Super Star Destroyer, sorry. And yeah, so anyways, not too bad. I think the speeder bike looks a little bit kind of over the top. They've done this like 3 or 4 times now, at least even in Lego sets 3 or 4 times, where they show off like a new design for a speeder bike. Everybody liked the brown ones on Endor with the Ewoks and stuff, and that was a really cool futuristic vehicle and whatever. And then they've redone that vehicle so many times in the past. They've done it with Rebels, and they've done it with just reimaginations of it when they did the Hoth Assault on Hoth set. And for the most part, I don't know, nothing ever really lives up to the original brown speeder bike. I also kind of liked the speeder bikes from like Shadows of the Empire or something, but for the most part, haven't been a huge fan of just sort of like, hey, let's take that fun design and just make it a little bit different, a little bit crazier. This looks like kind of a general speeder bike. The front fins are a bit wider. We've got some larger thrusters on the side and some stud guns and stuff like that. So it should be a really simple build. Most of this building should actually just be minifigs. Hello, Philip Rupert. Welcome. Thanks for jumping onto the live stream. And sorry if you guys are misled by the original title. Now we had the wrong title for the beginning of the stream, and now the stream has actually changed course entirely, irreversibly. So yeah, this is a rather, well, you know, it's live, guys. This is what happens. You try to do one thing, or you're doing another thing, and then things will change up on you. And of course, out of the only 100 pieces on this set, I'm missing, there it is, a bracket piece. So this is the same Dengar that we got from last year, who came out in, I think, one of the Freemaker Adventure sets. Yeah, and he's actually got a lot of backstory now. He looked like kind of a cool guy. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna zoom this in a little bit. You know, we are building minifigs, and it's not that hard to kind of see, or it doesn't have to be as wide as before, because we're not building the build as big as before. What I want to do is, like, maybe if I'm gonna mess around with this helmet because I want to have this thing built by the end of today. I just want to get through the really annoying parts of building and taking apart, and building and taking apart, and getting frustrated and cursing at the manual because it's not clear as to what you're actually supposed to be doing. That's what I want to do. I want to get that and build it all, and then just get through the original design for it, and maybe check it out on LDD if there's an LDD file for it. I just assumed I could go off of what the original intended manual is. So I assume that anybody else that tried to follow those instructions had the same exact feeling of like, hey, what the heck? Why does none of this make any sense? Like, kind of too bad, but here we go. Let's get this thing up and over. Hello, hello, hello. No language, Jack. What? I didn't say anything. Oh, you mean? Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I would get front. You never cursed before. I mean, it's not the craziest thing ever. Now, I wonder. I don't think this print is exclusive. I know this. I hope it's not, because this looks like the same print from IG88 when he came out in the like the massive. It was either, I think he came out in the Ultimate Collector Series Star Destroyer set or something like that, or Super Star Destroyer. No, he came out in the he must have come out in the Super Star Destroyer set. And so he's like, that one print for his head is like really, really, really expensive and exclusive. So if that's the same one, I will be a little bit. I'll feel bad for those collectors that paid a lot of money for it, because this will definitely drive the price way, way down. If it's a different print, then good on you, Lego. I will check that out with our collection. I'll take out the original IG88 from our collection in the back room and see indeed see if that is the case. If they got a new print, or if they just reused the Ultimate Collector Series exclusive print, because that feels a little bit down and dirty. A lot of people get really excited, about getting an Ultimate Collector Series print and figure. There we go. He needs the straight arm so we can hold that gun upright. So there's IG88. He blends in a bit more with the gray background, but I'm going to show you guys close up what these minifigs look like at the very, very end. And this actually, I'm excited about Forlom, who I'm going to build last, because he's the only new character that we haven't gotten yet. But I think Bosk might look the best though. He's got the nice lighter yellow. All the print is exclusive and new for this guy. It hasn't appeared in any other way before. So I think he looks particularly good. Now, if I can get another one. Now, they're all stud guns, which I think you guys know me. Not a big fan of the stud gun. They make the minifigs look better and better and better, and closer and closer and closer to the real thing, and then they make the weapons look worse. Like, it's a further away from what the initial detailing is for. And here we go. We get Forlom. Booyah. Forlom also had like a really big gun, didn't he? I feel like he did. Yeah, he's actually got a protocol droid body and an alien, like the alien head of his is just a robot head that's made to look like a certain race of bug-eyed aliens, because he's basically an alien protocol droid, so, they make his head look like however the aliens he's supposed to serve, but the basic idea is, yeah, he's just a protocol droid that kind of had something up with his wiring. The official sort of backstory to him was like he had this problem with his wiring, and he started stealing a bunch of stuff from like people on this luxury cruise liner, and then he ended up getting involved with gangsters and became a bounty hunter when he teamed up with Zuckuss, but Zuckuss isn't even in this. Okay, sorry. All right, let's get this little build going. Let's get the little speeder build going. It shouldn't be anything too involved. I feel bad. I feel like demoralized. Like I tried to jump onto a build that looks in essence like very simple and easy, but just the way the instructions are set up, you're just like, oh, you can build everything, but probably completely incorrect, because it was just a little bit not clear enough. It didn't tell you exactly where certain parts were going to go, and it leaves you open to building everything on top of a base that will be possibly just totally wrong. Anyways, I am going to attempt, right after I finish this, I'm going to go straight back to that other build though. Oh, thanks, man. So let's get, this is cool. Oh, I see. I almost built it the wrong way. Put it on the other way. So you have the inverted side of this coming in. Oh, nice. I like that. Yeah, it's a nice little smooth piece on this side. The same thing here. A little inverted piece there. Nice. That actually looks really good. And two of these like sort of L bracket pieces. That makes them so strong. This part is incredibly strong now. I don't think it's going to be breaking off anytime soon. And we are attaching this and even more stud guns. More stud guns, guys. Boom. And boom. Did you guys ever see that custom build, this mock build from, it was Vitriolum? He's like one of my favorite like Lego mock builders on Flickr, and he does a custom build with all gray, like light gray stud gun parts, and it is it's the most clever thing ever, where it's this micro build, and he uses the upside down face of the stud gun as the head of an Easter Island figure, like those heads that kind of like sit on the edge of the ocean. And he's like on an Easter Island thing. It's really, really clever. Super small, but he just managed to see the detailing in like a way that nobody else had quite seen since before that. What's up? Oh, the title thing? All right. And boom. Get this going. Let's get this going. Alrighty. And you know what is nice? I just noticed is this set doesn't actually come with any stickers, so that's something to be happy about. I guess battle packs. Now that I think about it, I don't think any battle packs come with stickers. I don't think Lego bothers to mess around with anything like that. So that's kind of nice. Oh, there's a little supply pack in the back. I didn't think they were gonna put one there, but there it is. Not bad. Okay, sorry. I don't know if you guys can see that last bit, but
They can see everything.
okay. Well, I mean, just my hands being in the right spot. But here we go. All right, let's get this thing going. We're almost done, by the way, with the speeder, and we are almost going to be starting the final build. Now, everything's really like this set is really like about the minifigs in a lot of ways. You get some pretty key characters, and you get them all really cheap and really accessible, which is great. So I'm gonna go through the speeder bike, but as soon as I finish building the speeder bike, I'm gonna actually show you guys the minifigs close up in the front, because that seems to be the sort of thing that everybody's really interested in when it comes to this set. And you know what it is? They didn't come with Zuckuss in this set, which everybody thought was gonna happen. That was actually the initial rumors. Months ago when I started talking about this, I was like, hey, when will we live stream the Apollo Saturn V? When we get it, probably. I don't know when we're getting it. It'll be out either June 1st, maybe a little bit earlier than that. I'm not entirely sure. It's coming out tomorrow. Yeah, that is tomorrow, right? June 1st is tomorrow? Yeah, then probably maybe tomorrow. It's a really big build, isn't it? Man, now I'm missing one part. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. It's, of course, it's the unfortunate thing about whatever background you have for your Lego building thing. There's always going to be one color that is like going to have a disadvantage, you know. Especially if your background is going to be one of the monochrome colors, like if it's any kind of gray or white or black, it is going to be a little bit harder to get your hands on, or a little bit harder to see certain types of parts. So this looks okay. It looks a little bit weird, to be honest. Can't really see anything that's too eye-catching from this build so far. Okay, this is a ×2 thing. So let me just push this piece through, this piece through. Okay. This is a small enough piece where you don't really have to mess around too much with the ×2. The parts are so small and so accessible You don't have to like, you know, if you're building a huge thing that's got all these steps and it's a ×2, you want to go every couple of parts. You want to start matching everything up so you don't lose all the pieces over again. But this time around, because it is so small and all the parts are just right in front of you, you could very quickly just attach all the pieces all over each other. Boom. So this looks like, oh, I thought these were thrusters, but I'm mistaken. It looks like these are larger cannons. So that's what's happening. Let's get that. So we've got some larger cannons. That was not expected, but here we go. Oh, this is kind of cool. I like these little pieces. This is almost the exact same style of building that I remember doing for the whatchamacallit. This is almost the exact same style of building that I remember seeing for the snow speeders in the Assault on Hoth set. This sort of Technic pin, the bar pieces that are attached to the little halved Technic pieces, almost the same. But we're almost done with this, and then this is okay. There we go. This is. I like this. This is a medium azure or something like that. I'm not very good with remembering the colors, the name colors. Oops. Actually need to be one stud further forward. There we go. Cool though. Very cool. And we should have one more of these. So we're just at the bottom right here. We're just about to finish off this whole thing. So just 2 or 3 more little parts and we are donezo. McFunzo. I'll show you guys the minifigs. Forlom does look good. I think I think they did a good job with him. Even though he's sort of a duo with Zuckus. And boom, we're done. All I need to do is add the shots. And this thing's got a lot of theoretical weapons. I think everything on here is supposed to be like weapons and stuff. But okay, I'll show you guys the speeder in the front. It's kind of nice messing around with the little thing in there. But let's show off the figs. So I'm gonna zoom the camera in just a little bit more. And this is our first guy. This is the first. Hello. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay, so this is Forlom, not Zuckus. Some people might call him LOM. I'm pretty sure he is Forlom, though. Like the LOM is meant to be said out instead of used as an acronym. But you can see that the detailing on his body is like a protocol droid. Not exactly the same. It's not like they just changed the colors up of a pre-existing print. The circle in the chest is a little smaller, and the like the sort of like pectoral muscles, like the chest muscles, kind of come down in these different. It's like a different succession of flaps or something. And that little dip in the front, or the dip by the belly, is kind of smoother. It looks a little bit more smooth. I don't know how else to call it. The lines flow a little bit more. And I like that printing on the front where it kind of matches up with the groin piece there. That looks good. It's good all around. I think the main thing is that everybody likes getting from these minifigs is the new mold for the heads. So of course this isn't like some sort of helmet mold on top of a regular minifig head. This is just the Forlom head, and it looks good. It looks great. It looks exactly how I would sort of want or expect. It kind of like they used a bit of sort of like, you know, it looks almost like copper detailing. I think that is the color that they used is like reflective copper, and it's sort of spidery, or it's sort of like, you know, it's speckled out. It's lined or looked like lightning or something. There's tons of tiny little boxes that are kind of lined out by the copper. It looks good. This is him from the back. Pretty standard look for a protocol droid, I think. Yeah, that dip at the bottom is definitely a unique part. And he's good. Definitely a good fig. Not a fan of the stud guns, but whatever. This is also, this is Bosk. And I think we've gotten Bosk before in the past. And I liked that previous Bosk. They changed up the mold for his face this time, though. I think this is a new mold for Bosk's face. So this mold for his head, sort of a crocodile type head. is brand new. But look at that print though, and he's in a light yellow. It's like kind of like this. It's not standard yellow. It's not. There's no deep yellow. This is light yellow. Sorry, let me just show. This is normal. This is your regular yellow compared to what Bosk is. So he's definitely a bit lighter. And I think that was a really good idea. I think his spacesuit in this color kind of differentiates him a little bit more. I like the toes and claws and stuff. Remember, he wasn't wearing any shoes when you saw him in the at least in the Empire Strikes Back, or sorry, no, we saw him in Return of the Jedi. Really cool stuff though. Like this guy a lot. Boom, boom, boom. Really good. Bosk is awesome. I think as aesthetically as a fig, I think I like the way he looks more than Forlom, but it is always like more. It's cool to get like a brand new sort of like old school character like given in Lego. And then these are two guys that we've gotten a bunch of times before in the past. First, I'm going to get into IG-88, but I'm going to jump into the back room because I know I've got IG-88 from the... I have them from the Ultimate Collector Series Super Star Destroyer. And if they redid that print for his head, I know a lot of collectors are going to be super ticked, so I'm just going to check. 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000. Okay, let me switch back down. So this is what I just grabbed from the back room, and this is what I grabbed. This is the new guy. So I'm going to switch down to this again. So you can tell the new guy, he's got the he's got the stud gun in his hand. And what I'm really looking for, okay, good. The print is different. I thought collectors would kind of go crazy if they didn't have it. Come on, focus. Focus. Usually if it focuses kind of further out and it knows what it's looking at, I can slowly kind of tilt it forward and not mess with the autofocus. So old on this side, and then new is here with the shaking hand. So honestly, I can't really tell you which one is a better print. I don't think either one of them kind of has like the upper hand. You can maybe have your own personal preferences. I kind of like the new print. I kind of like this one a little bit more. I think it looks a little bit better. I don't know. But like, not really. Not by like some big margin. They're almost the same. You can also tell that the old guy has got the old dark gray. Can you also, I don't know if you can see it as easily in the coloration, but this is like a little bit yellower or greener into the plastic. And this guy is the sort of newer dark bluish gray or whatever they call it now. So anyways, other than that, the build is exactly the same. Great that they didn't, oh man, collectors would have been so ticked if this print was identical to this print, but it's not. So there's that. So there's IG-88, cool guy, a really fun boss to fight against in Shadows of the Empire. Let me move the old guy out of the way as to not confuse you guys. And then Dengar. He's actually the only guy that isn't exclusive in terms of any printing. We got this exact minifig from a previous set last year. I think it had to do with Rebels. I don't know. Good guy, good fig, good print. But yeah, it's the same Dengar. I think the last Dengar in the previous set actually came with a stud, or without a stud gun. He came with a regular blast rifle, which I appreciate more. Okay, you know what? I'll take off his head. I'll show you guys what the print looks like on the back. This is not exclusive though. So he's got, decent enough printing in the back. Shows some straps and some dirty stuff and folds in the clothes and things like that. Actually, I do like that build for his pack. And boom, Dengar done. Now here is the here's the speeder, and I'm assuming they are all on the same side. I mean, bounty hunters, they can work together, but none of them are on the same side. They're all, competing against each other for the bounty, essentially, unless they're hired together to work together. But this is their speeder bike. It shows Bosk driving this thing. I don't think this belongs to any one of them. It's just like a fun vehicle that Lego decided to add in order for the sake of having sort of a minifigure battle pack. They don't want to call it a minifig pack. So you can seat a minifig there, and if you really want, actually not really, you can't really stand a minifig up back here. If there's nobody sitting down, you could sit a minifig here, but there is somebody sitting down. You can kind of, okay, yeah, if you lean him back, you really want to do it, like here, if I take Forlom and move the gun over into the other side, you can really mess around with it. You lean him back, there you go. There. You can do that if you want. So you can get three of the guys on there, and then, you know, I don't know, IG88 can fend for himself or something. But the build for the speeder is fine. This is sort of that icon, like this is, everybody needs this in order to like, you know, be like, oh, it's a speeder bike. It's got that sort of iconic, you know, the poles that come out in the front and the fins that come down at that angle on the sides. Now, this I thought were thrusters. I don't know why. I thought you could like switch this around. You can. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could just pull this out and then turn it back the other way. And it kind of looks like they're thrusters moving back the other way, if you really wanted. But I think this is the indication that this is indeed like just two big cannons. These are some blaster cannons. The ship itself, if you can't see, these are attached stud guns on either side here. So there's an attached stud gun and another attached stud gun. But if I take the minifigs out, so you might have a better idea of what this thing is built and looks like. These are posable for any whatever reason, but they just seem also like more indications of more cannons. So in theory, this thing's got two big guns in the front and then three smaller guns on either side, but only two of them are actual stud guns. The back comes with a pack, comes with just a regular backpack piece, that ancient backpack piece. I think it looks totally out of place, totally whatever. Generally speaking, I think the build for this thing looks whatever. I would say blah at best. It doesn't really grab my interest. It's got a lot of guns, but I think in terms of design, it looks kind of like, all right, you know, that's fine. Don't see it being the coolest thing ever. But the minifigs are cool, and that's sort of what everybody wanted from this set. So I think this thing probably sells for $15. Sorry, this was sort of an impromptu review. I didn't do quite as much little background research. You know, I usually just sit down and go over the set for like 5 minutes online to make sure I know all the little things about it, or if there's certain things I want to talk about. But I think this is a $15 set, and so you get these. Oh, sorry, actually IG88 is exclusive. So 1, 2, 3 are exclusive. You know what? They ask you to put the gun on his back in a certain way, but it doesn't allow for IG88 to stand very well. Anyways, these. Okay, 1, 2, 3 are exclusive. This is a repeat for Dengar, so we get 3 exclusive figs, but 4 bounty hunters, and they're all actual characters. These aren't just like you get 4 foot soldiers that are just kind of, you know, the red shirts of a battle and they're gonna die. These are 4 guys that are actually individual people. They all have backstories and stuff, so that's nice. And you know, 3 of them are one's brand new to Star Wars entirely, but 3 of them are redesigns, which is cool. So I think that in and of itself is going to be worth it for just about anybody who wants to buy the set. This is fine. It's fine. It's a little ugly, but it's fine. I don't know what else to say about it. It's not blowing me away, but it doesn't offend me in any way. So anyways, that's my final thoughts. I still think it's going to be worthwhile for these 4 figs pretty much across the board. And wait another year or 2 before we get Zuckuss. I bet you anything Forlom's partner Zuckuss is going to be coming out in another set. And that way Lego's going to be like, oh, well, if you've got Forlom, you're going to want to have Zuckuss. Okay. Anyways, that's my take. It's worth it. I wish it had Zuckuss. I don't like the stud guns. This build's okay. But these minifigs are good, and it's still worth it. That's my final opinion. All right, so I'm gonna mess around off the live stream for a little bit on this initial attempt at a life-size Stormtrooper helmet build. There's just some weird stuff about the kind of incomplete or just poorly put together instructions that I don't want you guys as an audience to suffer through, especially if I'm cursing to myself under my breath or something like that. So I'm gonna mess around with that, but we might put a live stream back up later, like maybe in an hour or 2 hours, if I can get to a point where I feel comfortable enough with the base part of the build, and I'm building on top in a way that isn't like just kind of experimenting and putting stuff together and tearing it apart and putting it together and stuff like that. So anyways, I might come back on today at some point, and I might not. But anyways, we will have a live stream for you tomorrow, just like we do every weekday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I hope you guys had a good time just hanging out. All right, so I'm going to sign off. And we'll see you next time, maybe today. But we'll see you next time at BrickVault.